Hello students, in the last 3 lectures on solid state, chapter 1, we had dealt with the characteristics of solid state of matter, types of solids. You know that solids can be classified into two types. Solids can be broadly classified into two types: crystalline solids and amorphous solids. We had studied the important points on difference between crystalline solids and amorphous solids. We had also studied the important terms, the important phenomena, that is isotropy and anisotropy in the previous lectures. And finally, we had studied the classification of crystalline solids. Depending upon nature of constituent particles and binding forces between them, crystalline solids can be classified into four types. They are molecular solids, ionic solids, metallic solids, and covalent solids. In the lecture 4 on a solid state, we are going to study important terms such as crystal systems and Bravais lattices. These vitally important terms almost constitute 30 to 40% of this chapter, and it needs a lot of understanding, lot of explanation to be studied. To know the exact meanings of crystal systems and Bravais lattices, once again we are going to make a thought experiment, a hypothetical experiment. We will be witnessing a process called process of crystallization, in which a liquid gets converted into crystalline solids by cooling. Everyone knows that the cooling is the way, one of the ways of converting a liquid into a crystalline solid. So once again we have to make one thought experiment. Suppose in our thought experiment we are witnessing the process of crystallization. Imagine we are inside a liquid which is going to be converted into a crystalline solid in couple of minutes. And imagine we are inside a liquid by reducing ourselves to the size of the atom. Imagine we are inside the liquid which is about to get converted into crystalline solid, and we are part of this liquid. We have reduced ourselves to the size of the atom and we are witnessing the process of crystallization. See here, the constituent particles are still in the form of irregular patterns, because still the liquid has not been converted into solid. So liquid particles, constituent particles of liquid, will possess all the different types of motion. They will exhibit vibrational motion, rotational motion, and even translational motion. And because of that, we will not see any regular rhythmic pattern of arrangement of constituent particles. Now imagine that the liquid is just half a minute away from getting converted into crystalline solid, and all of a sudden we will see that the translational motion and rotational motion have ceased to exist. That means now particles, constituent particles, are just vibrating, and we can see the pattern has started emerging out. And if we see very carefully, then this particular region, this particular part, then we will see the particles have stopped, they have settled, only they are vibrating to and fro about their mean position to some extent, but they lack other motions, namely rotational and translational. And surprisingly, we see a beautiful pattern, particles getting arranged themselves in the form of beautiful patterns. See here, and I have shown it separately here. The particles have settled and have arranged themselves in the form of a cube. Of course, we have taken help of geometry, and in our imagination we are drawing these lines. But one thing is certain, that the particles have settled in the form of a cube. This cube-like pattern is precisely called a unit cell. That means the unit cell has been formed, and then we find another unit cell forming here, one more here, 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 in all the directions, and finally the liquid turns into crystalline solid. So, what do we actually see within crystalline solid? We see the infinite, identical, repeating unit cells throughout the crystalline solids. This is the another way of looking into crystalline solids. This is another way of thinking that crystalline solid is made up of infinite, identical, repeating unit cells. Remember, it is not necessary that unit cell formed is always cubical in nature. It may so happen that the unit cell so formed within the liquid must be like this. See, it is not a cube. But one thing is certain, that if in a liquid the unit cell, the first unit cell that appeared was a cube, then all the other unit cells that will be formed thereafter will also be cubes, because we have already defined that crystalline solids are those solids in which constituent particles are arranged in a regular pattern over a long range. So if the first unit cell formed is a cube, then all other will be also cube. And if the first unit cell is a cuboid, then all other unit cells will be cuboid. What is the reason that in different liquids settle into aggregation of unit cells of different types? Once again, what is the reason that different liquids settle themselves after the process of crystallization into aggregation, collection of different types of unit cells? The answer is very simple. The constituent particles are held together by forces which are much powerful than gravitational force, and these forces depend upon nature of constituent particles. So obviously different liquids, when turned into solid, then the unit cells present in them will be of various types. Correct? The unit cells can be cubical unit cells or cuboidal unit cells. It depends upon the nature of the constituent particles present in the liquid and the nature of the forces, binding forces present between them. Thus, amazingly, crystalline solids are also like living organisms. As living organisms are made up of cells, similarly, crystalline solids are also believed to be made up of cells, unit cells. Of course, there is a lot of difference between the cells present in the living organisms and those present in the crystalline solids. The cells present in our body, in a body of living organism, in fact, they have well defined boundary made up of certain material, but the boundary is imaginary here. The lines are imaginary here. They are not actually present. We took help of geometry in order to describe a pattern. In reality, these lines do not exist. So that is the way the cells in crystalline solids differ from the cells present in the living organisms. The another difference is the cells present in the living organisms are not only structural units but also functional units, while the unit cells present in a crystalline solid They are only structural units. But the important thing is they all are alike, they are identical. Crystalline solid is made up of infinite, identical, repeating unit cells. The cells present in the living organism are not identical in shape, size, structure, even they differ in their functions. The mathematician named Brevis, using certain formulae, found out that the unit cells that can be present in crystalline solids are not more than 14 types. Once again, using formulae, applying mathematical formulae, the mathematician named Brevis proved that the unit cells can be maximum of 14 types. Once again, the mathematician named Brevis, applying certain formulae, proved that the unit cells that can be present in crystalline solids can be of maximum 14 types. These 14 types of unit cells that can be present in crystalline solids are called Brevis lattices. So please remember, this is the meaning of Brevis lattices. Once again, last time, the mathematician named Brevis, applying some formulae, proved that the unit cells that can be present in crystalline solids can be maximum of 14 types, and these 14 types of unit cells that can be present in crystalline solids are called Brevis lattices. Although there are 14 types of Brevis lattices, but the crystal systems are basically of 7 types. Once again, the crystal system can be of 7 types. They are cubic, tetragonal, orthorhombic, monoclinic, triclinic, hexagonal, and rhombohedral. Considering the subtypes, if we consider the subtypes, as for example, cubic crystal system can be further classified into 3 subtypes. Remember, crystal systems are of 7 types. However, Brevis lattices are together of 14 types, because the main types of crystal systems can be further classified, and that is the reason why the total types of unit cells, that is Brevis lattices, is 14. In our next lecture, we shall study that the cubic type of crystal system is made up of three subtypes: simple cubic, body centered cubic, face centered cubic. Similarly, tetragonal type of crystal system is made up of two subtypes: orthorhombic type of crystal system is classified into four subtypes. Monoclinic is classified into two subtypes. Only triclinic, hexagonal and rhombohedral, they are not further classified. So if you consider all these subtypes, then there will be 14 types of unit cells, that means Bravais lattices. So we are going to study in detail about 14 types of Bravais lattices in our next lecture.